What's up, guys? Ali here from Solid Trade. So I've been using Thinkorswim for about 8 to 9 years now, and since this is a technical analysis channel, I wanted to talk about few technical analysis tools in Thinkorswim that you should have in your arsenal, and it's extremely important for you to know. And I'm gonna just touch base on the most important ones that I get questions a lot. So let's get started. The number one is the linking. So look here, if I click on any of the watch list, and notice here, as soon as I click, for example, if I click on AMD chart pops up. If I click on Amazon chart pops up, and I get a lot of questions how to do that. And the simple answer is you need to have a proper link to it. So if you look here, this red and this red, they both are red. So Thinkorswim knows that that's how they're linked together. So when you click on any of the watch lists, it knows that, hey, opened red to red. So the way you do that is, first you make sure that on your watch list you have the red selected, or let's say if I have yellow selected, it will not work. If I click anything, nothing. If I click anything, nothing works. Notice here, if I click anything, nothing works. However, if I connect my chart to yellow, right here, link and yellow, and now everything is connected. Okay, so notice here I have two watch list. I have watch list here which is red, but my chart is yellow, so it's not going to work. Okay, but if I have yellow, and yellow will work. All right, number two. Number two is the multiple screens. So if you have 2 screens, 3 screens, 4 screens, like a 2-screen setup, and you want to have 2 different chart setups, what you do is you can just detach this right here, and it will open up a new window. But what that does is that you can watch 2 different stocks and 2 different screens. But what you have to make sure is that, notice here, you have to make sure they're 2 different colors. So one is yellow and one is a different color. So I can make one blue, right? That way, if I have Amazon open on another screen, let's say I have Amazon open on a different screen, okay, and I click, oops, let me just make it back. Okay, how do I show you 2 screens? One second. So I have 2 screens, for example. Okay, I can click Baba. I can go to I can do analysis on main screen. I can have another chart open the whole time of a different stock. You can do it for many screens, right? So that's number two. And the number two is that you can detach this and then look at different stocks, and you can do it as many times as you want. But there's a number limit, but that's way over. You don't have to worry about the over limit. There's too many options. Number three is which is my favorite, and that is if you click on your mouse right here, on your mouse wheel, the shortcut to your technical analysis toolbox opens up, and I use it on a heavy basis. I use these two, price level and trend line. So price level, if I just click on it, I can simply go just quickly and see, hey, where's resistance on, for example, I have a hood chart open. I just double click and it will create a line for me. There's another resistance right here. So if I just double click, it will create another line for me. So I see this is 118, 115. So that's how I'm able to quickly do my technical analysis and see what is the main levels. Okay, so these are, for example, the main levels on hood, and I'm able to quickly do it. So what I do is on a daily basis, let's say I'm going Tesla, okay, I see resistance, support, I'm just doing quick, I'm finding those key levels. All right, great. I see it's coming, so let me just go, and then I just click another stock, for example, and then I'm like, okay, this is a good support right here. I'm gonna watch QBTS right here. AMD, okay, there's a gap fill right here, so I'm gonna draw a line. Now, that being said, if I want to make a trend line, I simply again click my wheel box, the wheel on the mouse, and now I can click the trend line right away, and then I just simply draw a trend line quickly as well. Okay, so again, I use this for two things. So the first one we talked about, the linking the charts. So when I'm linking the charts, let's say I click NVIDIA, I'm simply gonna click on this, and I'm gonna start doing my analysis. I'm gonna find few arrows, and these are horizontal lines. But if I want to create a vertical line, I simply click the mouse link and hit the vertical line, and boom, I can just do this. So that way it's very easy for me to do, trend lines with just the mouse. I don't have to go anywhere, click the box, or go to style and look for a line box here and stuff like that. I don't have to do anything. Okay. And if I want to clean it, all I do is simply just right click and clear drawing set, and it clears out everything for me. So that's very, very helpful. So talking about um, the technical analysis, one of the things that I really love to do is, let's say that I draw this line and I did my technical analysis. I'm drawing this, for example, and I see this level is a great level. I think let's just look up an example right here. Okay, great. So let's look at AMD. So AMD right here, if I see this is the support, I want to see this gap fill, right? Let's say I want to know when this gap fill is done. Obviously, it's going to take a while because it's so far away. So I simply right click here and I hit create alert. And I create alert and I say, hey, you know what? When this comes to this level, alert me. Now, the cool thing about alert is that I get a text message or email. I can just simply go into setup. In the settings, application settings, I can set up my email address and phone number, and I'll get a text. So I don't have to keep watching. I can just get a text, or I can get an email alert right away to me when this comes right here to the gap fill. If it fills the gap, a lot of times stock reverses, so it's a good time, right? Similarly, I do a lot with the trend breaks. So for example, there's this big trend forming. Notice here, there's a huge breakout right here. Broke out. So I can just simply say, I can right click on this trend and I can create alert, and I say, hey, if it breaks this trend, alert me. So then I can just enter right here and take the advantage of this huge move, right? So alerts are very, very useful to me when I'm doing analysis. Another analysis is that once, let's say that I like this chart. For example, let's say I want to add some grid lines to it. I go to appearance. Let's say I want to add volume right here, so I add the volume. Cool. Let's say I want to add appearance and I want to add grids, for example, and I add grid. Now I really love this setup. I always want to use the exact way. So I simply come here, I can save this setting, so every time I come here I don't have to keep putting the settings again and again. I can save this setting, so I can go here on this box right here, click here, and I hit save grid. I can save this grid and then name it, so every time it's going to show up all my grids are right here. Okay, so I can see all my grids. So for example, I want to go another setup. I simply click here and I can see all my setups. Okay. And then the other thing what I want to talk about is the multi-grid setup. So for technical analysis, it's extremely important that you look at all the different time frames at the same time. So how do I have multiple time frames? So for example, I have Nvidia right here, and on this Nvidia stock I have 15-minute chart, I have a daily chart, I have a 5-minute chart, all at the same time. Okay, so when I click on my watch list, any of the watch list, right? So if I click on the watch list, so let's say if I click here AMD, the AMD chart opens up and all the different time frames open at the same time. So I get a bird eyes picture, bird eyes view, right, of the stock. So in order to do that, I have multiple time frames, multiple charts at the same time. There is this button on top where you see this box right here on the top right, and I can select as many screens I want. So right now I have 3. I can select 6 for 8. So then I can add more time frames on this. Okay, now I have perfected my chart setup, and the way I do that is well, I've perfected my chart setup, right? But if you want one of my chart setup, I can export this setting, which is another feature. You can export your chart setup exactly, so somebody can just copy your chart setup exact and then just import it in their screen and use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my chart setup that I use for my technical analysis. So you can just simply copy it and everything will just come up right away for you. You will have a link down below, And I will also put a video on how to import into your Thinkorswim if you don't know, but I'll export my chart setup, this three screen chart setup, and you can actually use my chart setup. So let's just quickly recap what I talked about. We talked about that we can use tools. So I can simply come here, tools. I can start drawing trend lines, price levels here, and I can see multiple time frames at the same time, and I can look at my do technical analysis really quick. The other thing we looked about is that if I like a level where I want the stock to come back down to and I want to buy area and the stock is very far away, I can simply right click that area and I can hit a clear alert button, and it will alert me when the stock comes to that price, so I'm ready to buy and I don't miss that opportunity. Another one we talked about is the toolbox. You can simply click the mouse wheel button, the mouse wheel on your mouse, and it will open up this toolbox, and you can do trend lines, or you can do straight lines, and you can do lots of other things too. You can draw a circle if you want. You can highlight some of this area where you want to highlight, stuff like that. But if you don't like it, you can just simply hit right click, clear settings, and then clear it out. Okay. And then we talked about the linking, so you can just link it. Just make sure whatever your link is, uh, for example, if it's red, your watch list needs to be also red. That way it can link to your charts. So that's it. If you like me to make more in-depth analysis, more in-depth tools of Thinkorswim, let me know. I have like a PhD, I feel like, because I've been using it for so long. So if you have any questions on it, or if you want me to make more specific question you have it, let me know and I'll make a video on it. All right guys, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.